up, everybody? Welcome into the Next Pass podcast. I'm Phil Perry coming at you with another mini pod from Super Bowl 57 here on Radio Row in Phoenix, Arizona. We got a great guest today. It's Ian Rapoport, NFL insider, NFL Network. He's going to give us some details on a topic we've been talking about all week. If you've been tracking our podcast early in the week, on Monday, we released a pod after talking to Eagles general manager Howie Roseman, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni, about specifically the move to bring in A.J. Brown, a true number one receiver, and everything it did for their offense. They go from a 4-12 team a couple of years ago to 9-8 and sneaking into the playoffs. This past year, they become one of the most dominant teams, if not the most dominant regular season team in the NFL. A.J. Brown had a massive, massive role in that transition from 2021 to 2022. We also talked to Steve Palazzolo about the importance of surrounding your young quarterback with real playmakers, the way the Eagles did. Can the Patriots do something similar? Well, the further you dig into that topic, you start to think, okay, how about the draft, right? The draft, that might be a good place to do that. Maybe not this year. It's not a draft that is loaded with true number one talent. Okay, how about free agency? Patriots can go spend some money, bring that guy in. You don't have to go trade for A.J. Brown, just go buy him. Nope. Not this year. Jacoby Myers might be the best receiver on the free agent market. So we're bringing in Ian Rapoport to talk with us about a number of things, but most importantly, which big name receivers might be available to the New England Patriots this offseason via trade. We're talking Tee Higgins, we're talking Jeudy, we're talking DeAndre Hopkins. All of these big names are people that Ian Rapoport has some insight on. He's going to share it with us right now. Here he is. Here's our guy, Ian Rapoport, NFL insider. Ian, thanks for being with us, man. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. What's happening?
We've got an interesting team to cover in New England these days. They're not as good as they maybe were at like a number of different points for a long, long time, but I would say just as interesting.
I mean, last 2 years have been among the most interesting we've seen covering the Patriots. I mean, last year was, for a lot of reasons, very strange, very un-Patriot-like, but fascinating, and probably created more things that I need to know this year for the Patriots than ever when I was covering. Like, there was never a season I'd be like, I don't know what these guys are going to be. You always knew. This year, I have no idea.
What's the sense you get from people in the building, around the team, about how they're going to bounce back? Is there confidence from the people that you're hearing from that will happen? I
mean, I thought the hire of Bill O'Brien was essential, like really essential. He is great. He is an excellent offensive coordinator. We've seen him do it for multiple teams. He is not for everyone. He is very loud, and he makes his opinion known. And I think it is going to be very important for Mac Jones. And I think Mac wants it. And, I think he knows he needs it. I think it's going to be a really, really good year for him. Last year was hard. You guys saw it. The frustration was evident. He didn't hide it. Nor should he have. Honestly, it was none of it was good. I think this year is going to be a lot better for him. And I think that of all the things that have taken place, that O'Brien hire might have been the most important of all the hires in the NFL.
What do you think happens with Matt Patricia? Because it sounds like we're sort of waiting to see what might be out there for him, but is there a place for him out there that's not in New England?
I think there is a place for him in New England if he wants it. I don't know what he's going to choose. Is he, would he go be a defensive coordinator for someone else? Might be. I don't know that, there might be some rehabilitation that needs to take place. I just don't know if you're him, why would you want that again? This has obviously been, last year was obviously difficult for him. He was, criticized constantly, deserved, but constantly. And I don't know why he would want to throw himself back into that again, honestly.
But might that not get him that rehabilitation that you're talking about? If he goes and he coaches defense and that's more his world and he has some success there, maybe that gets him back on track to where he wants to be.
Yeah, and I think, leaving New England generally helps. Like the guys who have really been successful, I think, have left New England, and then like Brian Daboll is a great example. Was a KC, Patriots guy, Pioli, Belichick, all the way, goes to Alabama first, and then goes to the Bills, and then gets a couple different perspectives, come back as a really good head coach. I think Matt Patricia would benefit from that. I'm just saying, considering what he went through as a head coach, which was not good, but really hard on him, and last year, which was also hard on him, I just don't know why he would want to do that again.
So year off, maybe? Step away?
Year off helps. Year off is real, man. Talk to the coach you've taken a year off, and they all say it is worth it. Adam Gase had a really hard time at the end with the Jets, is going on his second consecutive year off, and I think is loving life. Like, year off is good.
Would be nice, right? To be able to just take that time.
Oh.
Have a contract that pays you a few $1 million over a handful of years. Count me in on that one. Must be nice to have that option.
Count me in.
We talk about the quarterback all the time in New England. Rightfully so. Important position for the football fans out there listening to the podcast. What can the Patriots do? We're going to tap into your league-wide knowledge here. What can the Patriots do to elevate Mac Jones? Because we're about to watch a Super Bowl where A.J. Brown comes to the Eagles, changes things for them drastically. Yeah. Is there going to be that kind of maneuver out there for somebody like Bill Belichick, if he wants to pursue it, to take a leap in 2023?
It is those trades where you trade for someone and then give them a contract extension are not efficient. They are bad value. And Bill Belichick does not like bad value, right? Because you trade for someone and then you give them an extension. It's like you cost yourself twice. However, we have seen numerous examples around the league of this working, right? We've seen Tyreek Hill come to Miami with a fat new contract and be one of the better players in the NFL. A.J. Brown is an incredible example. They gave him $100 million and a first-round pick, and he's been worth it. So for the Patriots to do that, it would be an acknowledgement of Bill Belichick saying, I'm going to accept something that I don't think he's ever done that, right? I would have to go back, but I don't think.
He did trade a first-round pick for Brandon Cooks, but then he sent him right back out the door and didn't give him the contract. Right. There was no contract involved there.
So in order to do that, he would have to come out of his comfort zone and say, this person is so valuable that I have to do this deal. I don't know that that's the case with someone who would need a new contract. Now, might someone who's a really good receiver who could be traded but doesn't need a new contract come to the Patriots? That I could maybe see more.
All right. Well, can we play a little game?
If we must.
We'll play, is he with his current team or not? We're workshopping the title there. It needs to get a little snappier,
Not very
I think.
catchy, but sure.
This offseason, going into 2023.
Okay.
How about in 2023? Is Tee Higgins playing with his current team or not? He's going to the last year of his rookie deal. He plays on a team where Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are going to have to get paid eventually. Cincinnati, do they want to be paying all of those guys? Is he with the Bengals in 2023 or not?
That is a tough one for me because, I would be inclined to say.
That's why this is a good game.
It is a good game. Needs a better title. I would be inclined to say yes, but players get to choose. And we just saw an offseason where, several receivers were like, pay me or I'm out. And I don't know that Tee Higgins is going to do that, but he does have the talent, the ability to say, I would like a new contract and you should give me one. So I do not know the answer to that, but it is definitely a big question this offseason.
How about Jerry Jeudy? Another guy potentially nearing the end of his contract, fifth-year option, maybe not.
I think the interest would be different in Jerry Jeudy. I mean, he was available all trade deadline, and nobody really made a huge push there. Now, might he be traded? Sure, because you have a new coach who's going to come in, look at the receivers, and go, "No, we could do better than this." Like every new coach comes in and wants his own guys. So could be traded, yeah, but I don't know that it'd be like the feeding frenzy that maybe he would expect.
Okay, last name for this game. I've already forgotten the name of the game, but it is sweeping the nation.
Sure.
DeAndre Hopkins. Is he with the Cardinals in 2023 or no?
I would go with not. There was a lot of interest at the trade deadline. I thought he might get dealt. I would expect similar interest. I'm not going to say they're rebuilding, but retooling a little bit, and Kyler's probably not going to play for the first half of the season. I'm going to go with not on that one.
Could Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins marry up and be simpatico?
Yeah,
given how it ended in Houston?
I don't care about any of that because, one, he's not the head coach.
It doesn't matter if you care. It's about them.
Bill O'Brien is edgy with everyone, but he's also a professional, and he also doesn't call the shots. And there were plenty of other people in Houston there who were involved in the sort of dissolving of the relationship. It wasn't just Bill. So could they coexist? I don't see why not. Bill O'Brien, just like Bill Belichick, likes really good players. Think DeAndre Hopkins likes really good teams. I could see that working if that is the situation they decided to get into.
Love it. Ian Rapoport, NFL Network, thanks for being with us. Thanks for playing our game. Thanks for putting up with us.
Man.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you didn't love the name of our new segment there, but we're going to thank Ian Rapoport for being on with us anyway. Grateful for him to spend some time and share some information, some of that inside info that he has, that he's carrying around his pocket really on a minute-to-minute basis here. That's it for this edition of this mini pod for Next Pats. We've got more coming at you, though. We already talked to Kurt Warner earlier in the week. We talked to Roseman. We talked to Sirianni. We talked to Matthew Judon and Malcolm Butler. Go back in the archives if you haven't listened to all of our pods from Radio Row here in Phoenix this week. You're going to enjoy them. Until next time, guys, we will have even more guests from this spot right here. Superstars lined up just for you. Stick with us.